What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be doing another support hero guide. I know there's two of them you guys have been dying to hear about between Belrain and Gustin, but I swear they will be coming. But today, I don't have much time, but I want to put out a good guide for our man Rosa right here. Rosa has been pretty much one of the most important integral parts of our success in Forest Sealand lately. I mean, you saw our Sealand progression in Sealand 18-19 with just 2 Garudas. Throwing 3 Rosa in there have made such a difference. So I figured I should go over Rosa. He's really good early game too to build along with your Garudas if you're trying to push somewhat in Sealand, if Garuda is your first hero. But let's jump into his skills so you get a little better understanding about how this hero works. His first active skill, Binding Vines, deals damage against all enemies, and for Garuda that is absolutely amazing. And it reduces their attack by 15%, which while isn't huge, can make a big difference between proccing Unbending Will on Garuda's shield 1 turn too early. It also has a 10% chance to tag the target with a crit mark to deal extra damage. Again, we don't really care about that. You are a support hero for us. You're there to make our carry heroes that much stronger. And the biggest part of the active is increases all allies by 20% of attack. So if you can get 3 Roses off, depending on if they're 10 star, 9 star, or lower, you're going to be getting like 30 to 40% more attack. That is absolutely huge. Most of the time we have built our Rosa tankier so that he gets a basic attack off and then the energy use, but you can use him both ways. His Rosa's Spirit, his first passive, just helps him live a little bit longer. The second one is very useful if you don't have Kiss of Ghost on your Garudas. Each basic attack reduces all enemies 20% of armor. That's a lot of damage that you're increasing on your Garudas and anybody else, maybe even Valkyries or even Oberons too. It's a great ability for his basic. The basic only hits 1 target, so it's not that great for Garuda, but it adds this debuff to every target. And the last one is huge as well. If you can manage to get Rosa below 50% health without dying, much like Emily and Cruz that we've talked about in the past, it increases all allies 16% damage reduced. That's going to be huge to make sure your Garudas don't die as well. So there's really 2 different ways you can go about building Rosa. No matter what, you want to use some sort of split gear, with the higher tier being the armor and the boots, and the lower tier being the weapon and the accessory slot. None of my Rosas had any any artifact. Man, sorry guys, any of your stone upgrades. They all just have this basic intro stone. But there are 2 different artifacts you can use. You can either go for a damage reduced HP one, so that you hope to get that round 1 below 50% health damage reduced buff for your team. And then round 2, use the attack buff, or use an energy artifact. It can be a little riskier because you might not proc that damage reduce, but overall, the most important thing for Rosa is getting this attack increase off. This one is a nice bonus, and of course the basic, if you can hit basic in even round 2, that can be great if you use energy as well, but overall really, really good. I would not enable Rosa at all. The max I would bring Rosa to is a 10 star, and then of course once you get to a Sealand 18, 19, maybe even 20, wherever you're comfortable finishing and saying, alright, I'm really not investing more in Forest, you can then take Rosa and feed him off to your next carry. So do not take Rosa into enabling. 10 stars the max, that's it. Rosa does have a skin. It can help for survivability, but again, it's just a basic skin. If you have it, throw it on. If you don't, do not worry about it at all. So just to recap, if you want to build energy, it's really good to get this increased attack off. Plus, Garuda will do her passive attack to hit all enemies. This also helps if you are building an Oberon army, as Oberon armies also do very well in Sealand, but is a huge investment just for building 3 to 4 Oberons to get it done. So I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to throw in some of our older footage from the Forest Sealand, and hopefully you get to see exactly why Rosa is so good for pushing Sealand and is a pretty strong overall support even in PvE in the early game for your team. We are going to run 3 different Rosas here, and as soon as we can build another Rosa up to 9-star, definitely going to, so we can have another food hero for when Terra comes out, but also to proc that damage reduce. So overall, we now have a new skin. We've beefed up our actual Rosa army. And yeah, hopefully these 2 will get actives off in round 1. This one will get an active off round 2. Since both of them are using Kiss a Ghost, it really doesn't matter about the basic attack of these Rosas. I mean, maybe we should use something different here, like, I don't know, an anti-class artifact, or maybe just a Punisher staff. We'll try a couple different things over the next couple days, but right now let's just jump into it. Let's see how this lineup does against 19 and see what we have to tweak. And you probably heard this in the last episode, but man, do I love the look of this new skin and all the animations. So overall, we should get 30% more attack from 3 Rosa actives. We get damage reduced right there. So it really comes down to how much damage we do in this first round, and if we hit, wow, we're already down to only 2 targets. Rosa, I love you, man. Rosa, you're so good. Granted, I don't think you're gonna live through this round, guys, but hey, maybe. Oh yeah, the problem is going to be getting to this next active with this lineup. I feel like we need 1 more E5 in the front row. Oh, but maybe? Could this happen already? Oh! Oh, we did it! The power of Rosa, guys. Oh my goodness. So guys, as you see, when it comes to Rosa, it can really, really help you, especially in Forest Sealand. Overall though, even in PvE, the increased attack can be very good. Rosa used to be one of the really good buffers back in the old Broken Spaces days. But even early game, this could help you quite a bit right here to live and do better in both your raid bosses, maybe even Pray for Fire if you guys get there really quick and you don't quite have a full E5 lineup yet. And it can even help in Broken Spaces nowadays, because you cannot forget that the damage reduce, or the damage attack reduce, I guess you should say, on your enemies is going to help you survive longer in Broken Spaces. You're going to be buffing your team, and then if for some reason you do get hit, you will help your team live. Also in PvE, this armor reduce is huge if you don't have someone like a Sigmund early game, which if you're probably building Forest, you probably don't have a Sigmund. So, but yeah, definitely overall a great hero. As you can see, I just want to go over the lower tiers real quick. You get 20% attack from the 10-star and 16% damage reduce. We do have the 9-star as well, which gives about 16% attack and 16% damage reduce. And finally, when you jump all the way down to the E5, or sorry, E5, right, the 5-star, you still get 10% attack and 8% damage reduced. Of course, this drops down, but not by much. So honestly, having a few Rosas around early game that you can turn into food, I mean, it can help a lot. I feel like if you have even just 1 Garuda and some Rosas, you can probably break into Sealand 14, 15. It's definitely not going to compare with Fortress or Shadow, but it's a viable option. I know a lot of people are picking Garuda as their first hero, so overall, Rosa is an amazing, amazing hero. I love this guy. I never thought I'd love him, but then I went through, and as you saw in that video, I could not praise Rosa enough in our Sealand 19 clear. So, hope you guys enjoy this. Hopefully it's informative. Don't worry, we will get to Belrain and Gustin next. They are the next ones on my docket, but I just don't have quite time. I want to make sure their videos are nice and long, good examples for you guys, but overall, Rosa, checkmark, done. We'll continue. We'll make more. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next one.